Hi, I'm going to talk to you today about a triplet of cameras. Three cameras which from first sight look identical, and then in detail they are actually quite different. The three cameras I have here are three by a camera company called Kershaw that were based in Leeds and were making cameras from about 1920 to about 1959. In the 1920s, a very popular type of camera was the folding camera, and a folding camera, as the name suggests, has a part which folds up. And the great thing about these cameras was that they were compact. You needed a good distance between the lens and back, and these cameras took a film called 120 or medium format. This film you can still get. Check carefully on the camera because some take 620, but if it takes 120 you can buy the film quite easily. So these three cameras, all made in Leeds, well, it's thought that they are made in Leeds. Some people question whether parts were made in Germany and the shutters were pretty sure made in Germany. But these three cameras are incredibly useful and practical, but they are, as I said before, quite different. The first one is called a 110. The second one, I need to check with my glasses on. The second one is a 630, and the third one is a 450. Before they got to these cameras, the names of their Kershaw cameras normally took the names of birds, so you will find a Kershaw penguin, a Kershaw curlew, and a Kershaw peregrine. That's the top camera if you ever come across that. But by the time they got to the late 50s, numbers were paramount. Now, the 110 is basically a very simple camera. It's got a set aperture of f11, so you can close it down to f16, and the number 1110 comes from the f11. Very basic shutter. It's basically a point and shoot camera. There's no focusing on this. You basically put it up to your eye and shoot and wind on, and you will get the number in the back window. The second model, the 630, based on the fact that the maximum aperture, that's the diaphragm of the lens, the max aperture is 6.3, so they've taken the 6.3 and turned it into 630. So this is the mid-range camera. You have to set the shutter, and there's one cunning little device on this camera. When people first pick them up, they are amused and bemused where the shutter actually is, because it's not there. This opens the camera. It's actually on the side. So to set the shutter, that means to make the camera operative, you set it here, and then on the you would then focus the camera, and it's set in feet. You will set the aperture, that's how much light is going through the lens. If it's, so you can use a meter or sort of guesstimate. If it's really sunny, f16, if it's dull, 6.3. And then basically line up your subject and click. Where the 450 is the shutters in the same place, but you've got the opportunity of a faster lens. So that's a 4.5 lens, meaning if it's dark, it's a faster lens. A slightly higher quality camera. The 110 is very straightforward, point and shoot there, quite a primitive shutter. The 630, a little bit more sophisticated, set the shutter, focusing, and the glorious 450, you've got a faster lens. I'm just checking the shutter speeds on this 450. You've got a maximum of 200, and you've got a maximum of 200 on the 450. So 3 very nice cameras, very usable cameras. I've got a film in this one, well I've got a film in 2 of them at the moment, and I will be putting films through all of them and then comparing results, having a look at the results and taking it from there. So if you want a classic 1950s camera, try one of these. I'll be talking about other rangefinders in a future vlog. So find a folder, preferably one of these, and go and take some photos.